Alright, let's be real for a second. You've spent the last few months living your best life, attending lectures occasionally, binge watching entire series in one sitting, scrolling through social media like it's your part-time job, and convincing yourself that you'll start studying soon. And now the exams are staring you down like an angry professor who just caught you sleeping in the back row. Welcome to what I call the silent semester strategy. Not because you've been silently studying all along, we both know that's not true, but because you're about to go into complete radio silence mode and transform your life in the 1 or 2 weeks you have left before exams. Is it ideal? No. Is it possible? Absolutely. Have thousands of students done this before you and somehow managed to score top marks? You bet. So buckle up because we're about to turn your academic panic into a precise, actionable plan. The wake-up call. First things first, let's address the elephant in the room. You messed up. You procrastinated. You told yourself, I work better under pressure, so many times that you actually started believing it. But here's the beautiful truth. This moment right now, this mild panic you're feeling, this is actually your superpower. Why? Because you're finally awake. While some students are casually reviewing notes they made months ago, you're operating with pure adrenaline and survival instinct. And when channeled correctly, that energy can produce absolutely incredible results. But, and this is crucial, you need a strategy. You can't just panic study random topics and hope for the best. You need the silent semester strategy. Phase 1, the brutal assessment, day 1. Here's what you're going to do on day 1. And I promise you'll want to skip this step, but don't. Spend the first few hours conducting what I call the brutal assessment. Gather every syllabus, every course outline, every exam format you can find. Sit down with all your subjects and ask yourself the most important question. What do I actually need to know? Not, what should I have learned by now? That ship has sailed, my friend. We're past guilt. We're in survival mode. The question is, what will actually appear on the exam? Look at past papers. I cannot stress this enough. Past papers are like cheat codes that the universe has legally provided you. They show you patterns, recurring topics, and the exact style of questions your professors love to ask. If professor is asked about photosynthesis for the last 5 years, guess what? Photosynthesis is probably going to show up again. Create a spreadsheet or a simple list. Write down every subject, every topic, and brutally honestly rate your current knowledge level. Got this. Sort of got this. What even is this? This assessment should take 2 to 3 hours maximum. No more. Time is precious. Phase 2. The ruthless prioritization. Now comes the part where you make peace with reality. You have limited time. You cannot learn everything. Trying to learn everything is exactly how you'll learn nothing. Here's the brutal truth that will actually save you. Focus on high probability, high weightage topics first. If a topic is worth 30% of your exam and you don't understand it at all, that's your priority number 1. If something is worth 5% and requires 3 weeks to master, you're going to smile, wave goodbye to those marks, and move on with your life. I call this strategic sacrifice. You're not giving up, you're being smart. Navy SEALs have a saying, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. In exam prep, this translates to focus on what matters, do it well, and the marks will come. Create your study schedule based on this prioritization. If you have 2 weeks, map out every single day. If you have 1 week, map out every single hour. And yes, include breaks. We'll get to that. Phase 3, the implementation. Study techniques that actually work. Okay, let's talk about how you're actually going to study during this silent semester of yours. The Pomodoro technique, but intense. You've probably heard of Pomodoro, 25 minutes study, 5 minutes break. Forget that. You don't have time for gentle studying. Go for 50 minutes of intense focus, then 10 minutes of complete disconnection. During those 50 minutes, your phone doesn't exist. You are a studying machine. And during the 10-minute break, don't scroll Instagram. Your brain needs actual rest. Walk around, stretch, grab water. Just don't pick up that phone. Active recall over everything. Here's where most students mess up. They reread notes and think they're studying. Reading is not studying. Reading is just reading. You need active recall. This means read a concept, close the book, and try to explain it to yourself out loud. Pretend you're teaching it to a confused classmate or your confused pet. Dogs are excellent listeners and they never judge. If you can't explain it, you don't know it. Simple as that. Make flashcards, especially for definitions, formulas, dates, or anything that requires memorization. The act of making them helps you remember, and testing yourself repeatedly is scientifically proven to cement knowledge. The Feynman technique. Named after physicist Richard Feynman, this is pure gold. Take a complex concept and explain it in the simplest possible terms, as if you're teaching it to a 12-year-old. When you get stuck, and you will, that's exactly where your knowledge gaps are. Go back, learn that specific part, and try again. This technique is incredible because it forces you to truly understand, not just memorize. And understanding is what gets you the high marks, especially on application-based questions. Practice papers are your best friend. I mentioned this earlier, but I'm saying it again because it's that important. Do past papers under time conditions. Set a timer, sit down like it's the real exam, and attempt the paper. Yes, you'll probably do terribly on your first attempt. That's the point. You'll discover what you don't know. You'll get familiar with time management, and you'll reduce exam day anxiety because you've already practiced the actual thing. Review your answers brutally. Mark yourself honestly. Find out where you went wrong and study those specific areas. Phase 4. The lifestyle adjustments. Now, let's talk about the unsexy stuff that will make or break your exam transformation. Sleep is non-negotiable. I know you think pulling all-nighters makes you look dedicated. It doesn't. It makes you stupid, literally. Sleep deprivation destroys memory consolidation, kills focus, and turns your brain into mush. Aim for 7 to 8 hours every single night. Your brain processes and stores information while you sleep. Cutting sleep to study more is like going to the gym, building muscle, and then refusing to eat protein. You're sabotaging yourself. Eat like you care about your brain. Your brain is working overtime right now. Feed it properly. This doesn't mean you need a complicated diet. Just eat regular meals with actual nutrients. Protein, healthy fats, complex carbs, drink water, lots of water. Coffee's fine in moderation, but don't overdo it. That jittery, anxious feeling doesn't help you study better. It just makes you feel like you're studying better while actually retaining less information. Exercise. Yes, really. Even 20 minutes of exercise daily will boost your cognitive function, reduce stress, and improve memory. Go for a run, do some yoga, dance around your room like nobody's watching. Movement gets oxygen flowing to your brain, and trust me, your brain needs all the oxygen it can get right now. Phase 5. The mental game. Here's something nobody tells you. Your mindset during these 2 weeks matters just as much as your study technique. Kill the comparison game. Stop asking your classmates what chapters they've covered. Stop checking group chats where everyone's either lying about how prepared they are or genuinely ahead of you. Both scenarios will just stress you out. This is your journey. The only competition is the version of you from yesterday. Embrace imperfection. You're not going to have perfect notes. You're not going to understand everything deeply. And that's okay. Perfectionism is procrastination in disguise. Done is better than perfect. A good answer written in the exam is worth infinitely more than a perfect understanding that never made it onto paper. Visualization and affirmation. Yes, I'm serious. Spend 5 minutes each morning visualizing yourself in the exam hall, feeling calm, recalling information easily, and writing confidently. It sounds cheesy, but athletes do this because it works. Your brain doesn't fully distinguish between vivid visualization and reality, so you're literally practicing success. Tell yourself, I am capable. I am focused. I am going to do well. Sounds like self-help nonsense? Maybe. But it's self-help nonsense that's backed by psychological research, so give it a shot. Phase 6. The final countdown. You're in the last 2 to 3 days now. This is not the time to learn new topics. I repeat, do not try to learn new things. These final days are for reviewing what you've already studied, doing final practice papers, making quick reference summary sheets for last-minute revision, getting your exam logistics sorted, pens, calculator, ID, exam hall, location. Taking care of yourself. Make one-page summaries for each subject with the most crucial formulas, concepts, and keywords. These are what you'll review the morning of the exam. The exam day itself, the night before. Organize everything you need. Set multiple alarms. Get to bed at a reasonable time. Yes, even if you don't feel sleepy, just rest. The morning of, eat a proper breakfast. Review your one-page summaries lightly. Don't cram new information. You'll just confuse yourself. In the exam hall, take the first 5 minutes to read through the entire paper. Plan which questions you'll answer first. Start with something you know well to build confidence. If you get stuck on a question, move on and come back to it later. The reality check. Look, let's be honest one final time. Is studying everything in 1 or 2 weeks ideal? No. Should you plan better next semester? Absolutely. Will you actually plan better next semester? Let's revisit that question after exams. But here's what I want you to take away from this. You are more capable than you think. 2 weeks of focused, strategic effort can produce remarkable results. Not because you're cramming and hoping for magic, but because you're being intentional, smart, and disciplined. Thousands of students have been exactly where you are right now, felt exactly what you're feeling, and gone on to score top marks. You can be one of them. The silent semester strategy isn't about being perfect, it's about being strategic, focused, and kind to yourself while pushing hard. It's about working with the time you have, not the time you wish you had. So turn off your phone, make your plan, and get to work. Your future self, the one celebrating good exam results, is counting on the decisions you make right now. You've got this. Now go prove it. Remember, this strategy is for emergency situations. For long-term success and actually enjoying your learning, start earlier next time. But for right now, execute this plan, ace those exams, and worry about being a model student later, one crisis at a time.